How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about OCGN. I'm going to give you guys another update. Yesterday we added in the technical analysis, so I won't be doing it today because it is the weekend. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. Anyone who's new to this channel, you could also find timestamps down below in the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're considering to get into a position for OCGN, I highly suggest you watch the full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is Covaxin and travel bans. Yes, that is right. There's a lot of info that's coming across, and we know that we're waiting on Bharat Biotech to do some studies, and this article does a great job going over it. Of course, I give a little bit of my analysis while I read over it, so that's a part that you're going to want to see. And again, we already know how important Covaxin is for Ocugen. The second thing that we're going to be going over is also the short interest and as well as institutional ownership. We want to know, are institutions still loading up on OCGN, or are they selling their shares? I feel this is very key to know, to have a part of your homework and your due diligence. We also want to know, what is the overall market sentiment? Is the market saying, well, you know what, the stock price needs to go down even further, or is it saying that it's priced fairly and it needs some time to actually go up? I feel this is very, very key to know, because we want to know what the sentiments are. If the short volume ratio ends up being at that key level that we tend to look for, then when the news drops, we could see some strong moves going right to the upside. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Now, this is taking into consideration what was going down in the market on Friday. We want to see, was there more buying or was there more selling, especially not only on the institutional side, but also on the retail side as well. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get to it. So we're going to be going over some recent news in regards to Covaxin, and it actually came out today. So let's go over it. So India dismisses reports that Covaxin may hamper your travel plans. New Delhi. The Indian government on Saturday dismissed reports claiming that people who are fully vaccinated with Covaxin may not qualify for traveling abroad, as several countries are yet to approve the vaccine. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Jadhavar said during a press briefing that such claims on travel bans are baseless. The World Health Organization, WHO, has not taken any decision on banning people from traveling who have been vaccinated with Covaxin. Covaxin is one of the most effective vaccines to date, said Jadhavar. Multiple reports had said that over 130 countries across the globe currently accept Serum Institute of India's Covishield vaccine to enter their country, while Covaxin is accepted in only 9 nations. The reports claim that Covaxin is not yet on WHO's emergency use listing. The latest WHO guidance document shows that Bharat Biotech has submitted its expressions of interest, but more information is required. Bharat Biotech was yet to react to the reports. However, a peer-reviewed publication on clinical infectious diseases has noted that Covaxin demonstrates protection against the new COVID-19 variants. The study found that vaccination with Covaxin produced neutralizing titers against all key emerging variants tested, including the B1617 and the B117, first identified in India and the UK respectively. A modest reduction in neutralization by a factor of 1.95 was observed against the B1617 variant compared to the vaccine variant. Top officials in the country said this week that they will begin clinical trials to test Covaxin's vaccine efficacy in children between 2 to 18 years of age in 10 to 12 days. Covaxin has been approved by the Drugs Controller General of India for Phase 2 and Phase 3 clinical trials in the age group of 2 to 18 years. I have been told that trials will begin in the next 10 to 12 days, said VK Paul NTI Agu's member health had said. So this article does a good job clearing things up. Again, there's just more details that need to be required from Bharat Biotech. So like I was saying previously, if you're in the Ocugen play, you're definitely going to have to exercise some patience here, but it will definitely have an overall effect effect on the market sentiment. So around Fintel, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for OCGN. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see here as of the 21st, we have Citadel going in, building out their positions. We also do see the fact that there also are hedging, as you can see from the put here. We also have Spire Health Management going in with 1,500 shares. If we take a look at what went down on the 18th, we have a call here, and from True Investments, we also have a purchase of 1,650 shares. So taking all this into consideration, we're not seeing a ton of bullish activity from institutions, OCGN, but hey, we are seeing some purchasing going on and as well as some hedging. As we take a look at the short interest information, the short volume ratio stands at 28%, and this is taking into consideration the close that we had on Friday, which was May the 21st. So as we scroll down on the page, we can see the short shares availabilities at 1.5 million, updated 16 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is at 3.58%. If we take a look at the short volume ratio, the history of it, it was used to actually being above 30 for quite some time, as you can see, going from May the 13th all the way up to the 20th, but the 21st we have it down to 27. Part of the things that I'm actually realizing and what I'm seeing, the reason why it's gone down a bit, because the stock price itself has been going down as well. So what shorts are saying, hey, there's still a little bit more room, and that's part of the reasons why the short volume is still above 21%, being at 28. So I'll be very curious to see what it looks like going into next week and what we see on the end of day of Monday. And if it continues to go down with the stock price going down, I'm going to assume the short volume ratio should go down. If the price is going up, but we haven't received any news or any updates in regards to the catalyst, then I can see this short volume ratio going back up to the 30s. But that's to kind of give you guys a heads up and being prepared for next week. So now what we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN this past Friday. So on the inflow side, it was at 35, and then on the outflow side, it was at 48. As far as large orders, there was 0. As far as medium size orders, there was 26, and small size orders, there was 9. On the other side, as far as outflows, we had 1 large order. We also had 35 medium orders, and we had 13 small. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, taking into consideration, which is Friday, we had 591. So outflow means there was a lot of selling. You could also see this is happening on the 17th and as well as the 18th. So what does this mean? This means as far as confidence overall for the OCGN stock, it's losing a fair bit. There's also a good amount of investors who are in this play that are probably impatient as well, and they're still awaiting news, and they're saying, hey, we need to hear something or we need to get some sort of an update. Since you're not getting that, they're like, hey, I'm going to start selling off. Also taking profits. We also do know there's volatility inside the market, especially in the tech sector. So the longer this gets drawn out, and I've been saying this quite a bit on the channel, the stock price can continue to go downwards. Even when we took a look at the chart on the Friday when I covered it, we saw that, you know what, it started showing a bearish pattern, even though it was able to actually be in support levels that we talked about. But do keep in mind of the fact when it is below $9, as far as how it can pull back to, you guys know those areas already because we've already covered it. So that's just to give you guys that update. So as far as the market sentiment for OCGN, it's definitely heavy on the selling side. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, but hey, I'm going to be talking about Bharat Biotech and Covaxin here. Let's be honest, this is who we're actually depending on. So from we were going over that article talking about the travel ban and people who take Covaxin, just to kind of sum that up very quickly here, the fact that Covaxin has not received the EUA as of yet, and the FDA hasn't given them any approval as of yet, but at the same time, they're waiting on further information from Bharat Biotech. This is where high conviction actually comes from. When you're betting on this play, you're not only betting on OCGN, but you're also betting on Bharat Biotech. That's who they're depending on. So they said, you know what, there should be a decision that should be coming in sometime in June. So we'll be looking out for that. If it does not come within the time of June, and if it comes after that, then there's definitely going to be a lot more downward pressure in the overall stock price. And I would not be shocked if it ends up testing the $7 level if we don't get any news or any updates, especially for this coming week. The CEO was saying, hey, you're going to be hearing from us in the next coming weeks when he did the earnings call. So that's why I'm saying be patient, keep an eye on it, and know what strategy you have if you're in this play. So I'm going to be really looking forward to hearing some news sometime in June to keep you guys updated. Also, as well, what was talked about, we already know they want to test Covaxin on the 2 to 18 age group. So this is for their pediatric study. And that's going to also be starting in June as well. So those trials are supposed to be running all through going into the third quarter. So it's going to be a bit of time. And this is why I always say you got to exercise some patience. Also, when it comes to Covaxin and as well as a travel ban from WHO, it makes a lot of sense. Until they get the EUA and on top of that getting the FDA approval, then it would make more sense for anyone who's taking Covaxin will be able to actually travel outside of India. And also other countries not partaking, it makes a lot of sense. They want to wait and they want to see. So Bharat Biotech really needs to make sure that they have everything put together so we can get a decision done. And this is one of the things I want you guys to understand and be aware of, especially if you're an investor. We read inside the article, it's all on Bharat Biotech as far as submitting more information. Once they submit more information, then a decision can go about being made in regards to putting Covaxin on the WHO list that can help ease in regards to travel bans. If people are taking Moderna, taking Pfizer, as well as Covishield that's down in India, then they are free to travel pretty much to any other countries and so forth. But if they take Covaxin, then they are limited. This is part of the reasons why there's many states within India that are actually opting to go with Covishield over Covaxin so they don't have to worry about travel bans. But again, it all takes time. Soon as when everything goes through, I'm pretty sure that WHO will have Covaxin on their list, and anyone who takes Covaxin will be able to freely travel. And yeah, that's all I wanted to kind of update you guys on. Hope you found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.